Hey, everybody, this is a thankful Thursday, and I am your host, Dr. Samantha DeLoache, and this is another wonderful edition of Public Speaking in Business. I have thoroughly been enjoying myself doing these different series, talking to so many wonderful entrepreneurs, and just getting so much more insight on their perspectives of how public speaking helps their business. And so that's why I did this series to share this with you all to let you know that public speaking is so important, so vital, and we really need better communication skills to be better with our lives, period. That's with work, that's with your family, promotions. If you have a business, or even if you don't have a business, we all have to be able to communicate so that we can get our needs met, get our wants met, even. And we can't do that if we can't express ourselves. So, like I said, I've been thoroughly enjoying this series. And as always, I have to let you all know what's coming up. The Model Speakers Academy will be launching this month, and I am so excited because this is my model baby. I'm just very happy to help encourage individuals who want to share their stories, who want to share their voice, but they just don't know how. And so the Model Speakers Academy is here to come alongside with you, with your dreams, your passions, and to help you get to that next level. So it doesn't matter where you are on your speaker's journey. If you're just starting, or if you're a seasoned pro and you just want to refine your skills and you want to be able to market and brand yourself as a speaker and even get paid as a speaker, we can help you. If you don't have your thoughts together, you don't have your message crafted how you want it, you don't know what you want to say, but you know you want to say something, then we're here to help you share your voice. So it's an 8-week program. And, of course, there's an investment, but there will be payment plans available. But you really don't want to miss this opportunity. I think a lot of times we overestimate how long things will take, and we underestimate just how much we can actually do. So we keep putting things off to say, oh, we'll do it with it later. We'll get to it. And then we'll look back and realize so much time has passed and we're no longer or no further along on our journey than when we first thought about it or had the idea. So we don't want to keep delaying things. We want to be action takers. And you don't have to wait to 2025 to get started. You can start in 2024. You can start making moves, making things happen so that you'll be ready. So definitely you want to sign up for the Model Speakers Academy or refer someone who wants to motivate, organize, deliver, engage, and lead, because that's what the model framework does. And that's what you will learn. So, enough about that. I have another wonderful guest. I have Dr. Griselda Martinez here, and she's going to talk and share about what she has going on. So, I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Griselda. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samantha. This is a big pleasure of me being here. I usually do interviews, but not live. So this is something outside my comfort zone. So for those people listening, we just have to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions all the time. So thank you for allowing that opportunity for me, Dr. Samantha. So a little bit about me. I'm Dr. Griselda. I am the founder of Ascendo Strategies, and that it's a threefold approach. The first one is economic development consulting. I work with municipalities and nonprofit organizations to help them craft strategies for to help their communities thrive. I focus on entrepreneurship, small business, and strategic planning. That's number one. Number two is business coaching for aspiring women, professional women, mid-career, who are ready to take their next step in launching their own business. And similar to what you said, um, when we are in that place, it's so overwhelming that we don't know what's the next step, right? What is the next best thing that I need to do? I when I was there before I started not as my own company, is like, who do I contact? Like, what is my next step, and how do I not only start but start to get me to success, to whatever I want to achieve quickly? And so I'm a business coach to help women get there faster and better, because I know the power of coaching. I've experienced transformations through coaching. So now I want to share that with them. And then the third one is my podcast, which is Unexpectedly Successful, in which I feature successful business women to share how they've gotten there and their personal story behind it. Because sometimes we forget that behind every successful business is a powerful individual. And in this case, it's powerful women who have started from scratch and with challenges lifing, but they were able to make it happen. So it's a really exciting ride as a business owner, and I'm happy to share a little bit more of how I've gotten there through communication and speaking.
Yes. Well, that's excellent. So you are a powerhouse. I'm listening to everything that you have, the podcast, you're coaching women, you help nonprofits. That's amazing. So do you do this full time?
Yes. So I was an employee up until 2021. And then I got bold after some planning, family planning, financial planning. And I launched my own company in August of 2021. So I just completed my 3-year anniversary as a business owner. And I totally have loved what has brought to me in addition to the finance, because people do it like, I want additional streams of income. But it's been such an experience of empowerment and enlightenment that I would not change it for anything in the world. And that's why part of my passion of helping other women that are in that position where I was unhappy, unsatisfied, frustrated, limited in creativity, like is unfold, like just open gates for anything that comes to my mind to be able to deploy strategically, of course, strategically.
Yes.
But yeah, so I am a full-time business owner, and it is highly recommended, I would say.
Okay, well, that's excellent. And just listening to you really encourages me because one, you did this during the pandemic, so that's something to be applauded. And then also, how you said you had a strategy. You just didn't just jump out there, but you planned it, but you did it afraid. Like we have to be willing to stretch ourselves. And what you're doing right now is something that I want. I want to be in the position to one day have the Model Speakers Academy be my full-time job. And so that's what I'm working on in the process because I got to start somewhere, right? So
Yes.
right now I'm juggling pharmacy and my passions with public speaking and coaching. But I do believe that with proper planning and me continuing to put myself out there, I will be able to make that dream come true for myself. So just listening to your message and your opening about your process has been encouraging already. So
Yes,
thank
and
you.
often we are so used to our skills and abilities and experience that we don't see it as something unique to us. But when we look into our toolkit, it's so unique to us because it's our own experiences
Mhm.
that bring this superpower to us, right? And so you, as a professional woman, I can put money on saying that you have a whole bunch of skills and abilities and experiences that you can totally monetize upon. And so that's what I'm all about in the business coaching. How do I help you become aware, and
Mhm.
then confident, and then know the blueprint to get to generating profits, which is one of the reasons why we want to have a business, right? To provide for ourselves and
Absolutely.
our loved ones.
Yes. And then also for me in particular, time freedom. I
Hmm.
want to be able to come and go as I please and not have to worry about, oh, I have to be in the pharmacy. Because as a pharmacist, I have to
Yes.
physically be here so that
Yes.
we can be in operation. They can't operate
Yes.
without a pharmacist present. So it limits
Yes.
what I can do because my hours, I have to be in the pharmacy while it's open. But as a business coach or as a speaker coach, if I have the internet and I have a laptop, if I have my cell phone, I can literally work anywhere. And I
Totally.
like that, possibility of having that type of freedom. Like if a family emergency comes up or if somebody needs me, I don't have to, say I can't come because I don't have the PTO or I have to, call and check in with my
Yes.
boss and go through all that. Like even as a business owner, if I need to, push back some meetings or some times
Yes.
with clients, I have that autonomy to be able to do so. But when you work for someone else, you really don't have that flexibility. So for me, being able to have that time freedom and the ownership of my time and being able to travel and go where I want because I love to travel.
Oh, that
I
makes two of
literally,
us.
yes, I literally just got back from Chicago over Labor Day weekend and I forgot about how beautiful Chicago is because I hadn't been in over 15, 20 years. And just
Wow.
being there, I was like, ooh, I could stay a few more days if I was working for myself. But because I'm not,
Totally.
I had to come back. But, it was all good because that just gave me a little more fuel to say, hey, keep going. Let's make this Model Speakers Academy launch be what it needs to be and just continue to building so I can get to where I want to be.
I totally love that story, Dr. Samantha, because you are being so transparent into where you are and what moves your heart, right?
Mhm.
And this live session, it's another proof of that, right? It takes effort and it takes a lot of discipline to
Mhm.
continue to do it, and so you are taking bold steps, and I'm excited to see you to your successful transition as a full-time owner
Yes.
of your business. And then I think another really beautiful thing that comes with business ownership, it's the freedom of time, freedom of finances, and all these things. But I think we cannot fully assess our full level of creativity until we are doing it, and we're like putting the just the effort into implementation. And I think like the podcast for me was totally something out of my I was a government employee, so I had to dress in my suit and talk properly and address city council members by madam and sir. And so in my podcast, it's me in my genuine and in my most genuine form of self. And I was like a limited version of myself as an employee. And as a business owner, it's your business, so you can craft it as per who you are, right, deep in
Right.
you, and aligned to your core values and all these cool things that I totally love. So priorities, right? You love to travel, you want to have freedom of time, and so a business is it's a great vehicle to be able to get there.
Absolutely. I love it. So you know what? We can keep talking all day. So let me get
I
this
know,
back
I know.
on topic. But my first question is, why do you believe public speaking is a crucial skill for business professionals today?
Yeah, so I believe that is, I can summarize it in top three items. The first one is it amplifies our visibility and our influence. And why is this important? Um, because in a lot of situations, we may be frustrated. And one of the main reasons is that we are not speaking our voice. And so we're like a trapped, we feel trapped in that situation without being able to voice what we're thinking, right? And so I think that not only allows for us to not be as frustrated, but also we may be speaking what others may be feeling and
Mhm.
not able to speak or not ready to speak, or they feel something but they really don't know what, like, how to put words to it, right? So
Right.
I think it's an opportunity for us to become influencers of change, positive change. I believe that strongly, but also influence the conversation to the things that we believe are important and that may not be part of the conversation or the situation at play. So that's the first one. Number two is we can become advocates for others and inspire change. And I'll tell you a quick example. I also am a published author with co-authoring a book with 10 other beautiful women. And in this process, it was a really intense process. And in the first edit round, we got the feedback, and it was a really heavy
Mm.
load of feedback, because to begin with, the story was already, we were in a very vulnerable place as we were writing our stories. And when we received the editing, one, it was that vulnerability, like I'm feeling like, oh my God, they're criticizing this. But two, it was like, how do I make this a better written form
Right.
document? And that the thing is, we were first time authors and we did not know how to do this, right? So when we were sharing our perspective, I spoke very honestly of how I was feeling. Later in the conversation, there was this very this beautiful woman who I respect. She's a very successful business woman. She's very bold, and I respect her deeply. And in her words, she said, "Thank you for speaking what I was feeling, and I wasn't able to speak up because I could not pinpoint what was what was I feeling?
Right.
So that's a really cool opportunity for us to advocate and
Hmm.
to inspire those. And probably next time that we are in a similar situation, she may be the one speaking on behalf of others, right?
Right.
So that's the second one. And the third one is attracting new opportunities, because opportunities will unlikely fall on our laps. We need to go and seek them. We need to go and pursue them. And I'll give you a real time scenario for me. Through my consulting business, a lot of this is finding opportunities through my network, through my second degree network, through finding requests for proposals. But if I go into my little cocoon, I don't know what is happening out there. I don't know what opportunities. I don't know what funding may be. I don't know what
Right.
my surrounding area needs. Right. So I need to speak. I say, you know what? I'm here. How can I add value? This is my set of skills. This is why I do the things that I do, because I deeply believe in alignment of values between clients and consultants, clients and coaches, whatever that may be. And so it, um and then opportunities that you may have not even considered, that
Right.
you by speaking make paint a picture that somebody else is getting and tying to their own needs or vision, that you can be a who for that person or that entity. So those would be my top three reasons why speaking is so crucial: amplifying our visibility and influence, advocating for others and inspiring change, and attracting new opportunities for us to get us to where we see possible being there.
And all three of those were excellent because they're very, very important, especially the new opportunities portion. There's so much out there. We're in an information
Yes,
society, and if you're not able to get yourself in that position to open your mouth and speak up, then people are going to pass you by. So we have to
yes,
be willing to not only attract, but be really being willing and ready to get some new information. As far as being seeking information, like you
yes,
said, it's not going to just fall in our lap. We have to go be reading those books, getting on those webinars, signing up for those newsletters. But whatever it takes, we have to put ourselves out there and communicate that, hey, I exist and that
yes,
this is what I'm trying to do. And maybe I can be a resource or you can be a resource for me. So all of those are great. And I love the advocacy portion because you're right. So many people don't have the courage that we have. So it's
yes,
good for us to be able to say, hey, I was afraid at one point too, but I didn't let
yes,
that fear stop me. I kept pushing, I spoke up, and then you're right, we don't know who's listening. So even
yes,
if you make a post and you get one or two likes, doesn't mean just one or two people saw it. Many people
totally.
are watching us or listening to us. And so we have to be willing to advocate or speak up because we don't know who else we could be helping on that journey.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
those
yeah.
were all great.
Yeah, totally. And even if that person or entity, I mean, we communicate with people, right? But they may represent themselves or an
Mhm.
organization, even like on social media. Even if they're not liking or commenting, you
Mhm.
may already be impacting their lives in a positive way, right? So
Right.
continue to speak, and and I'm not saying like go to a full stage, but wherever your next level of
Mhm.
speaking may be, it may be raising your hand in a meeting and asking a
Yes.
question. Or I'm gonna share a really powerful moment I had with one of my peers and colleagues. Um, I invited one of my peers to help us take notes in a meeting,
Mhm.
and she did that, and she was an administrative assistant at that point. And after the meeting was over, I asked her, what do you think about the meeting? And I said, why didn't you speak? And her answer was, I did not think that my opinion had value.
Oh no.
And that just totally um, hurt my heart, because everybody's opinions, it's valuable, right? And
Mhm.
we should be able to create the space, if it's not there,
Yes.
to be advocate for ourselves if needed. So everybody adds value. if we
Yes.
seek for the right opportunity in the right moment to do so, even if it's not in a big group. Well, then
Mhm.
seek a one-on-one, right? Or like whatever is your next step, uh, to for us to take the opportunity to do it.
Yes, absolutely. That was great. So thank you for sharing that. So my next question is, can you share a personal experience where effective public speaking significantly impacted your career or business?
Yeah, in a previous role as an employee, I was in executive leadership, and very often I was the youngest of all in the room.
Mhm.
I was the only female, or one of the few, and I was the only Latina. And so what I felt in that situation was, okay, my perspective it's not likely going to be aligned to the rest of the perspectives. So I
Mhm.
have two options. One, to stay comfortable and go with the flow, or two, speak my perspective and be able to influence the outcome of this meeting, right?
Right.
And at that point, I decided to speak up, and it was not always heard or
Mhm.
heard in full,
Mhm.
but wherever influence I was able to bring into the outcome was better off than if I hadn't spoken. And so for me, those instances were very powerful because um, we are able to shift the future by speaking. We
Yes.
are able to influence the outcomes of a conversation by speaking. And so that's an example. But another, I mean, I have many. When I was doing my doctoral degree, I was in Toastmasters. I was just joining Toastmasters. I was like 2010, and somebody in the group said, make sure to give as many speeches as you can before your defense of the dissertation. And
Mhm.
so I didn't know, he didn't give me any additional context, but I made sure that I was practicing.
Mhm.
5 years down the road, when it was time for me to defend my dissertation, it was not, it was still uncomfortable. I was still nervous. I was still defending that big moment, that big investment of 5 years.
Mhm.
Um, but I totally was confident in the
Mhm.
delivery. I knew how to deliver. I knew what to cover in the presentation. I knew how to answer questions, because if you're not aware of Toastmasters, there is a part of speaking, and there's a part of you answering questions, impromptu questions. And
Mhm.
so it was a really rich experience for me, to be there and to be empowered and confident in my competence as a speaker. And so
Mhm.
I can go on with many other examples, but I think those are like really tangible examples of how speaking has influenced the next steps of my life, personal or career.
Wow, that was excellent, and that was great advice. Practice makes perfect. So, a great speaker is not born. A great speaker is developed through skill and practice. So that's for
Totally.
anybody. You have to be willing to practice. If there's an opportunity to speak, then you should take it. And then also, when we're not the top person in a room, we still have to have our voices heard. And so we have to be willing to be uncomfortable, but still be willing to speak up, because whoever's talking or whoever has the microphone is the leader at that moment. So you can
Yes.
still lead the conversation. You can still offer your influence, even if you don't feel like it's on a big scale. The squeaky wheel always gets the oil. If you're
Yes.
silent, if you don't say anything, then hey, you can have the brightest idea, the greatest idea, but no one will know it if you don't speak up. So both of
Yes.
those examples you gave were very, very, very helpful. So my third question is, what are some common public speaking challenges that business professionals face, and how can they overcome them?
So, not too long ago, somebody reached out to me actually and said, "Actually, I'm gonna recommend your program to this person, because she asked me if you ever have an opportunity where I can um, become more comfortable
Mm-hmm.
speaking." She said, let me know, because she was just totally talking about what you and I are talking, but from her own experience, and from
Yeah.
and she's in a moment in which she is transitioning jobs, so she knows that she needs to become more confident in
Mm-hmm.
speaking and
Mm-hmm.
reaching out, in communicating her opinion, in communicating who she is, what skill sets
Right.
she brings, what expertise, how can she add value to the organization or whoever. And I don't know if this is common to all industries, but in my industry is like an interview question is, why would I hire you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if we think about that, that is the opportunity of a mini speech,
It
and
is.
it's our elevator pitch, right? So
Right.
we
Right.
should be ready. Like, these are my
Exactly.
top 3 attributes that I can bring as an employee, or I can add to your organization,
Right.
and then have a follow up on why, right? Because I can say all I want about myself, but how do I back it up? So I would say the one challenge is just how to feel confidence and
Mhm.
yeah, confident in speaking. So number one is preparing, seek coaching, seek observe other speakers. Like, if you
Right.
like a style, observe them, hear how they do it, and how they transition between one sentence and the other one, how they use their hands, right? Are they paying attention to me, or are they just like sitting there stiff, and you're like,
Right.
are they gonna fall scared, right? And
Yeah.
so like everything we have speaking, it's a tool, so utilize it. Your hands, your face, your
Yes.
voice, the volume. Can I say a secret right now? Right? I mean, it's a
Yes.
different,
Yes.
like,
The
you
tone.
influence,
Yes.
yeah, tone, volume, speed. You can slow down and tell us how beautiful this landscape was, or you can speed up and it was so exciting. And so
Right. Right.
like, we can influence the room
Mhm. Mhm.
by how we talk. And so as a professional, be like, be prepared. If somebody asks you for, like, what do you do, just have a little elevator pitch, right? If
That's
you're
right.
going into an interview, like,
Mhm.
be ready why you are the right person for that job, and practice it, write it down, read it out loud, as make sure that that is clear, that you feel comfortable, that it's natural to you, and just take bold moves. It's
Yes.
exciting. It's
Absolutely.
exciting. And if you reframe fear with excitement, it's the same energy, just with a different perspective. So say,
Right.
when you say, I'm fearful, I'm nervous, turn it into excitement, and then just let it go, because who you are, you know it by heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I love that perspective. Like you said, take that excitement or that same energy from fear and then turn it to excitement because, like you said, it's the same adrenaline, but let's let it be used in a positive way to help us. So, yes, definitely, yes, refer your friend to the Model Speakers Academy, but those were still other, great examples how many people don't know how to pitch themselves. They don't have the confidence how to speak up and to share who they are. This is the thing. You have to be your number one advocate. You have to be your number
Totally.
one cheerleader. So if I don't say things about myself proudly, then I can't expect somebody else to. So we have to
Yes.
always walk with our head held high. We have to always speak confidently, always have great eye contact, always be willing to shake with a firm handshake. There's certain skills and things that we just have to have because that just
Yes.
exudes confidence. And guess what? That's what gets you the promotion. That's what gets you to the next level. Nobody's going to
Yes.
hire somebody or promote someone who seems very shy, very timid, very unsure. They're not confident. And I literally, it's funny you brought that example about being able to tell during an interview why she wants to hire you because I literally, and I always think back to this. I, do interviews from time to time for pharmacy technicians to come work in the pharmacy. And I was doing an interview one time, and that was one of the questions that I asked. And the young lady told me she didn't know. I said, "Why should I hire you to work in this pharmacy?" And she told me flat out, "I don't know." And so I kind of paused for a second. Then I went on to something else, but I didn't hire her because guess
Right.
what? If you can't tell me why I should hire you, then why should I? Even if she
Exactly.
lied, even if she was making up stuff, even if none of it was true, I didn't know her at the time. I'm taking it at face value. So the fact that she
Right.
didn't even have enough preparation or enough of thought process to be able to come up like I'm a hard worker. I come to work
Yes.
on time. I'm a team player. I mean, just anything she could have pulled out of the sky, and she said,
Yes.
"I don't know." So that's
Yeah.
something that we kind of take for granted, but these are skills that you need to be able to be successful in life. So wow, that was just
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
reminder for me, or aha moment. And that's something that if people you're watching, if you don't have that pitch, if you don't have those skills to be able to confidently express yourself, articulate yourself, or sell yourself, because I love to say, if you have your own
Yes.
business, you're a
Yes.
salesperson.
Oh,
And even
totally.
if you don't have a business, we're constantly selling ourselves. You're trying to get hired
Totally.
for that job. You're trying to get in that relationship. You're trying to become a friend. Whatever you're
Yeah.
doing, you're trying to sell people on who you are. So if you
Yeah.
can't do that confidently, then you're going to lack business wise. You're going to lack work wise. You're going to lack in your family, your relationships, your friendships, because
Yes.
you're not able to sell and then be able to back up what you're selling.
Yes,
You
yes,
got to have both.
totally, totally. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Samantha, let me just add an additional piece. So, we talked about what to do, right? But one
Mhm.
thing that I also want to highlight is what not to do.
Yeah.
And often, more with women than with men, is I hear, so tell me about you. And then the person goes into, well, I just have a bachelor's degree, or, oh, I just have a master's, or, oh, I just have a year of experience, and we minimize our own value, right, with the
Oh,
just. And so becoming more confident and becoming more aware of how we express
mhm.
ourselves about ourselves.
Right.
So eliminate those just, right, or a little bit, or I think, like be assertive.
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's in such and such. I own a business in such and such. I don't know, whatever it's there.
Right. Right.
Do it, say it boldly, say it with pride, and say
Yes.
it like from the heart, right?
Yes.
Not thinking of like, what are they gonna think?
Mm-mm.
Whatever they think is not your problem. So
That's
just
right.
own who you are, and say it
Mm.
with love and confidence and pride.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because one thing that I really despise, and I used to do it, but I've stopped. When someone asks you about something and then you describe it as, oh, it's just a little thing, or yeah,
Yes,
my little business, or my little party, my little, nothing you do is little. If you did it
exactly.
and you put it together and it turned out fine, or you executed it, it's not little. So we have to stop, like you said, diminishing our qualities, diminishing our value, and speak with pride, and be confident in who we are, because guess what? Confidence is contagious. So whatever I
Yes,
tell or share, I'm giving you the power to feel based off of what I'm feeling. So if I diminish it, if I talk about it like it's nothing, then I'm giving you that same energy that it doesn't mean anything. But if I
yes,
speak about it highly, if I exalt it, if I raise it up, then you're gonna pick up that same energy as well. So I'm glad you brought that up, because we need to definitely stop disqualifying ourselves, stop using
totally.
words to help tear us down, but use words that are confident, that are strong, that are assertive, that are direct, that can
Yes,
build up, and that have power. So yes, that's
yes,
that's great. I'm glad you brought that up.
totally.
So my last question for you is, what is one essential tip that you would give to someone looking to improve their public speaking skills?
Well, I believe I mentioned some of that already, but number one, define why you want to be a better speaker, right? Because when we see it as a tool, we don't focus on the what, but we focus on the why.
Mm,
So I believe that, like, if you want to get a better job, or if you want to get a new contract, if you want to reach more people, if you want
uh,
to impact a specific population, right? Define your why. Even
right,
if it's like, I am tired of not being able to say what I think. Like it, as simple as that, right? Because when we are not in our most uh, in our genius zone, where we thrive, we're not creative, we
right,
are not the best partners, we're not the best collaborators, we're not the best team members, right? So as simple as, you know what, I'm tired of not sharing, I'm just going to be bold and do it. But also, like, what is the outcome that I would desire out of me speaking? And so that would be one, just find out your why. Number two is practice it, put, like, craft, go online, you can find so many things, right? Go
absolutely,
online, say, how can I craft a short speech about my career, if you're gonna have an interview, or if you're
hmm
gonna be putting out a proposal for your business. like look online and say what are effective ways to talk about this topic,
Hmm.
and just become familiar, and then practice it, and the first time is not going to be perfect,
Right.
because we're new at it, and we
Yeah.
should be okay with that. We need to be okay with not being great at it. But we also need to understand that the more we do it, the better we become.
Right.
And confidence comes from action.
Yes.
We just have to be courageous to take our next steps. So those would be my top 3 items that I would recommend your audience to take if they want to become more confident and powerful as public speakers.
Yeah, and I love that you brought up find out your why, because the why is so important. The why is your motivator. The why has to play a part into your mindset.
Yes.
Because when you have those trying moments, which we all have, your why is gonna be the thing that keeps you going. A lot
Yeah.
of times we get motivated, but we don't have the discipline to continue. But if you have a strong enough why, then on those tough days, those tough moments, you can keep pushing through even when you want to give up. So it has to
Yes.
be bigger than you. It
Yes.
should be bigger than money. It should be bigger than just me getting the fame and the prestige. But it should be, about, in my opinion, an impact. How
Yes.
can I help somebody else, or how can I leave a legacy? So we
Yes.
need to have a big enough why to keep us going. And like you said, definitely practice. YouTube University is there. There's so much free
Yes.
things out there. So it's really no excuse for people to be where they need to be. But what I've come to find out, you can have it where you do it yourself. And a lot of times
Yes.
when we do it ourselves, we don't follow through. Because guess what?
Yes.
If we would have done it, or we wanted to do it, it would have been done by now. So a lot of
Yes.
times we talk ourselves out of things. We don't have the
Yes.
confidence. We don't have the discipline. So things don't always happen. So if you do it by yourself, sometimes it doesn't get to the desired destination or goal. But if you have somebody do it with you, like a coach,
Yes.
then there's more accountability.
Oh
Now I
yeah,
got to show
totally.
up. Now I have to
Yeah.
be there, and then of course the top level is done for you. So if somebody else do it, then of course it's going to get done because you're not doing it. But the
Yeah.
majority of us tend to have better results if we have a coach, or if we have somebody who can help us practice, who can give us real time feedback and information
Yes.
to help us be better. And that's what the Model Speakers Academy does. We are able to help you in real time, and have you somebody who can be accountable with, and hold your hand and help you along. Now we're not going to do it for you, but we're going
Right.
to be there to help you, because that's another thing. I think some people have this misconception. Oh, I had this coach and nothing happened. I didn't get dot dot dot. Well, did you show up? Did you have consistency? Did you do the homework? Did you come to the
Yeah.
classes? Like, we have a
Yeah.
part to play in our success. We have a
Totally.
part to play in our future, our business, our relationships, everything at work. We all have a part to play. So if you're not showing up, not bringing your best self forward, then of course you're
Yes.
not going to get the results because you're not
Yes.
doing your portion. So we got to be able to carry our weight and do our part if we want to get to the next level.
Totally. And Dr. Samantha, on that topic in particular, it's not if we're gonna get stuck, if we're gonna face moments of
Hardship.
discouragement, if it's not if, it's when, right?
Correct.
Because our brain is designed to protect us from the unknown. And whenever we do
Yeah.
something new and different, the
Yeah.
brain is gonna be telling us, this is dangerous, stop doing it. And so
Right.
it's gonna happen.
It
And
is.
the power of coaches and being in a community with those individuals who are seeking the same as you is that not only they bring the knowledge, the information, but they bring accountability. They troubleshoot with you as needed. You
Yeah.
find other people who are seeking, so that's like more of the support system that you need, because
Right.
often what we are doing may not be what people around us are doing, right? And so
Correct.
you're alone and you need to
Yeah.
seek community. But another really powerful thing about coaches is that they like whoever signs up for your program, they are getting all of your training, all of your knowledge, all of your
Yes.
wisdom distilled to the things that they need to do it faster and better, right?
Correct.
And so I'm sure you've been working on acquiring skills and knowledge and
Yes.
experience for years and years and
Yes.
years. And now you're just bringing it into this program that is going to be 8 weeks. And then you're going to be ready to move to the next step much faster than if you spend
Right.
faster and cheaper.
Yeah,
uh, than if you spend all the time that you have already invested in yourself, right, Samantha, to be in this particular moment. So definitely the power of coaching. I've been a recipient of that, and I would not be here literally if
right.
I did not have coaches in different areas of things that I needed help with.
Right, right. Thanks for sharing that because that's true. That's what coaches giving. They're not just giving you what they read in a book, even though that could be the case, but they're giving you their experience, their knowledge, their degrees, their process. And again,
Yeah.
it's to help you not make the same mistakes that they made. It's there to help you get to your desired end a lot quicker. So I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. I love this, Dr. Griselda. This has been amazing. And just your passion just shows through your energy. I can just feel it through the screen. Like this has really been an enjoyable conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Samantha. It's been a pleasure to share with your audience, and I am super excited about your program coming up. And for those people who will be signing up, because if you're like on the edge of like, should I do it? Should I not? Just do it, because the regrets come from when we don't do the things, not when we
That's
do
right,
it and we fail and then we get up and do it again. So
right,
if
right.
yeah, let's be bold and take action on our dreams.
Absolutely. Now, can you tell everybody how to follow you to stay in contact, and if you have anything coming up that you want to share?
Yeah, so if you want to get more information about what's coming up for me, I will be having a challenge for aspiring women entrepreneurs in the next 2 weeks. So you can find me on Instagram as Dr. Griselda, and also on Facebook. And also my website is drgriselda.com. And after that, I'll be offering a course that will be walking women through their own launch of their business.
Mm,
So it'll be an 8-week program, and it's super exciting because I believe that so many women are in this trap feeling
mhm,
where they're like, I'm tired of what I'm doing and I don't know what to do next, and I don't have the time and I don't know what to do next, and I am fearful. And so if they are feeling all of those emotions, it is
mhm.
time for them to find somebody who will help them and to
Right.
take actions towards where they want to get, concrete actions. And just be bold, again, be bold, because we need to just live our life fully instead of
Yeah.
like, what if
Right.
20 years from now.
Right. Exactly. Thanks for sharing that. And I love that you keep saying be bold because that's what we need to do. Be bold. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the only life we get to
Yes.
live. So we don't get to, go through the intermission and come back for another act. This is it.
Right.
We have to make sure that we're living our life fulfilled and fully, and making sure that we're doing all that we need to do. And I always bring this up, and I'll bring it up briefly. The richest place on earth is the graveyard because so many people
Totally.
die with their dreams, those concepts, those $1 million ideas because they're afraid to launch them. So when we leave this earth, we want to leave empty. We want to leave where we've done our part, we've done everything we're supposed to do. We left our impact and we left our imprint on this earth. So we got
Yes.
to be willing to be bold, live fully. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid from having to start from ground zero because we all got to start somewhere. But
Yes.
be afraid of not doing what you're supposed to do. Be afraid of, like you said, having those what ifs. And that's one thing that I never want to be like, well, dang, I wonder what would have happened if I would have
Yes.
on myself and launched Model Speakers Academy, or what would have happened, or where would I be? Could I have retired at 45 or could I have retired at 48? What could have happened with my life if I would have taken a bet on myself
Yeah.
and just went out for it, just did it, just was bold. So thank
Yeah.
you for sharing
Yeah.
that. And I pray that these women who are watching, if you have a business idea and you need a coach to come alongside you, Dr. Griselda is the woman to help you make that launch, to help you make it come into fruition. Let's stop holding back on our dreams. Let's stop holding back and wondering what can happen and just make it happen. Go
Yes.
ahead out there and have that impact.
Yes, yes. And as you're talking about, like, when the richest place on earth, right? One time I did an exercise of what I wanted to be read in my memorial service, and it
Yeah.
was really heavy, like, to write it.
Right.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like, am I doing the things that I need to do to make
Correct.
that moment be what I want it to be,
Right.
and leave that legacy behind me? So if we don't do it now, unlikely we will never do it.
That's
So
right.
take action now.
Right. We're the youngest we're gonna ever be right now. We're not gonna be any
Yes.
younger. And the time is
Yes.
gonna pass anyway. So
Yes.
go ahead and let the time pass doing what you want to do anyway. Let the time
Yes.
pass of you getting closer to your dreams, getting closer to your next level. We are
Yes.
able to create the lives we want. I think we don't realize how much power we really have. It's a choice, it's a decision. We make that decision and say, I'm deciding to do better. I want more. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do it afraid. I'm gonna
Yes.
get the coaches, the people who can help me get to that next level. We'll be amazed at what we can accomplish by just stepping out and how we can grow. Because the Samantha that's sitting here today was not the Samantha that you would have met 5, 10 years ago. But because
Totally.
I continue to have the confidence, continue to push, continue to keep exploring and trying and working with other coaches, because I have coaches. Every coach, for the
Totally.
most part, has a coach. So
Yes.
I'm not just getting advice or just doing something blindly. I have people who are guiding me so that I can guide the people that are going to come and work with me. So it's a
Totally.
process of intentionality. And so I want to give my best because I am trying to make sure that I'm my best. So that's the only way I can do it. So, like I said, this has
Yes.
been a very beautiful and powerful conversation, and I've absolutely loved it. And you all, I'm going to tag her different businesses and just her website and things in this message so that you can go back and look at it. And if you're watching this as a replay, put hashtag replay. But definitely, you want to stay tuned because tomorrow I'm going to have some more great talks. And actually, I have another talk this evening at 6 p.m. So continue to come and see what public speaking and business has, because I keep the guests coming and the topics and the conversation never cease to amaze me. I meet some wonderful people and I'm glad I can share it with you all. So any last words, Dr. Griselda?
Thank you so much, Dr. Samantha, for allowing me to join you in your platform here and get connected to your audience. And just to wrap it up, let's make every day count because it will never be back. So let's continue moving and rocking the boat.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.